Hoo-hoo.
Yeah. Back to the conference with C and home of Flat Plus Football's Women's B Championship matchup between the 3-seed 6-4 Supernova taking on also 6-4 the 4-seed Chaos. Brent Bach and Keon Cyrus with you here live in Broussard. These two teams met twice in the regular season. The first one going to overtime. A baseball game, I think, broke out, or potentially a hockey game if I'm talking about overtime. 9-8 win by Supernova in Week 3 in OT. Supernova will complete the sweep, winning Week 10 by a score of 24-20. Obviously, Chaos right now hoping third time's the charm, looking to get their first W of the season. What kind of matchup are you expecting quickly here?
I expect a close matchup between a 3 and 4 seed, and especially with Chaos losing the first two. It doesn't matter at this point. They're both in the finals now. All that matters is this game, and so I expect Chaos especially to come out firing for avenging those two losses in the season.
There we go. Chaos again, the underdog. They're starting on offense. Gigi Camilo Bonte, the number one player, number one receiver, running into the building right now. She's running right by us on the stairway, through the stands right here. So quick pass here. Heidi Lynch there with the catch on first down. Minimal gain of about, I want to say, 3 yards there on first down. But again, Gigi running down. You're going to see her in a second on your screen going on the right sideline there. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, exactly. She is arguably their best player both ways, along with Emma Townsend as tonight. So it's nice that at least she got here better late now than like later in the first half.
There you go. So pass her on second down, second long, pass intended for Marilyn Cesare. That's going deep, obviously, from the quarterback, Allison Sobel. That falls to complete third and long now facing the offense. I want to say right now, Keon, I think it's about probably third and about 14, maybe 15 right now.
Yeah, so I would expect not necessarily for them to go straight for the first, but at least make it a manageable 4th and 7, 4th and 6.
Pass over the middle. Phoebe Gervais, big catch. Gervais goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Chaos.
Phoebe Gervais making the great two-handed catch there and running it through the Vanny Cheetah receiver there, showing off her speed for the early lead for Chaos.
Yeah, bomb there from Sobel to Gervais, and they connect, and Chaos scores first in this contest.
And that's what you want for Chaos, to get your foot in. Honestly, they had the first game of the season they played, I score kept. It was, like you said, almost like a baseball game. Final score of 9-8, and that went to overtime with Alicia Anaya, who ended up getting the convert for 2 to win the game. So good for Chaos for getting points on the board early.
Passes there. She makes the catch. 1 point conversion is good. 7-0 lead now for Chaos.
Perfect start for them. And now for Supernovas, again, getting your foot in and stuff. Not necessarily, you don't need maybe 2 plays to get a touchdown like how Chaos did, but again, getting the feel of it. And we always have to talk about this, but again, being the higher seed, you always get the opportunity to get the ball first in the second half, and that can be a game changer when it comes to time management late in the first.
So here comes Supernova now, their first possession of the game, led onto the field by their quarterback, number 20, and Clarence Michaud. 24 touchdowns in the regular season to 6 INTs. 12 touchdowns though in the postseason, no interceptions. So she's stepped up her game so far in the playoffs that she could do it here tonight. Gets the ball, pass over the middle, a bullet caught right away. And picking up a chunk of yards right there was the Matrix offense. So a pickup of about, say, 7, maybe even 8 there on first down.
I'm trying to figure out what the number, I think perhaps.
So it was number 11, but again, as I told you during the last game we did together, lots of times in the finals, the jersey starts switching. Players start switching numbers and whatnot, so I'll try to get you who caught that ball in a second. Cross over the middle. Ooh, and that pass is almost picked off. Gabrielle Poisson had a chance there. Ball went off the hands of the offensive player, and that was number 10, Anne Pavia.
Yeah, Anne Pavia had the ball there, and also Gabrielle Poisson as well. Unfortunately for Supernovas, it was an incompletion, whereas if that was an interception, things could have been looking very bad for this Supernova's offense.
Oh, well, I think it's fortunate right there for Supernova. Yeah. The pass ended up falling incomplete right there. Just looking at the roster for Supernova, number 11 appears to be Gabriella Fagnon Bizarro. She's only played 4 games, though, so she shouldn't technically qualify for the playoffs, but we'll have to find out a little later if that's actually who that is. Number 6, though, with the reception right there, and that's Alicia Anaya, who you talked about a little earlier. Big grab for her. That is her 14th of the postseason, tackled by a Poisson.
Yeah, she had basically one rush actually for 7 yards, as well as you said, this was her 14th catch, and she does have 5 touchdowns in the postseason for Supernova.
Ball near midfield, but just shy of the first down by about 4 yards. Pass going deep. Caught. Touchdown. Anaya. 7-6 lead now for Chaos with a long bomb. Gets Supernova on the board.
Great hands by Naya there. It looked like the ball was actually a bit overthrown, but Naya was able to use her speed and reach out to catch the ball there. And as soon as she got it, there was nothing but green for her to get into the end zone.
So for Alicia Anaya, her 4th touchdown of the postseason. Could come at a better time. Again, she gets her team on the board here. Going for the 1-point conversion, looking for the 7-7 tie here. Let's see if they can get it. And the last minute between these two teams. Finish my thought after this play. Trips to the right, pass to the end zone. Goes off a couple of different hands. And I think Lamisa Jundi was the last one to touch it. That falls incomplete. So 7-6 lead here for Chaos.
Yeah, that was a great drive for for Supernovas to get points on the board. Yes, they didn't get the conversion, but again, these points are going to matter later. It's very important now that their defense kind of settles in. As Chaos, I felt like they were able to just do whatever they wanted on the first drive, as it was very quick. So maybe it's more of a chance now to kind of settle their defense down and force Chaos to work more in terms of scoring.
So Sobo leads her offense onto the field. 2 receivers to her left. She goes over the middle. She has Gervais again. Big catch there by Phoebe Gervais again, who opened the scoring in this one. Pickup of about, let's call it 10, maybe even 11 yards right there.
For having the receiving threats of Emma, Gigi, as well as Phoebe, it's going to be tough for Supernovas to actually fully kind of defend all 3. I don't think all 3 of those ladies have played together against Supernovas throughout the regular season. Perhaps Emma and Gigi have played together. I know they did the first meeting, but I don't think
Gigi wasn't there for the second meeting.
Exactly. So it is with all 3 of them on the field at the same time. It is tough.
So we're going to the right now. Nice underneath pass and ends up connecting the crossing route right there. And that was Heidi Okana Lyncher, her second reception of the game.
Yeah, Heidi finished the regular season with 19 catches, 2 touchdowns, total of 137 yards. She hasn't reached the end zone yet in the postseason, so she will be looking perhaps under center to being a receiving end of an Allison throw for a touchdown later.
So open on with the ball. She looks right over the middle. Gervais open. Nice catch by Phoebe Gervais. Tackled, though, short of the goal line by Alexandra LeBlanc, one of the top players. Obviously, she was a part of the Co-Ed 3 championship game last night as her team, Mixtolog, got the victory last night. So congrats to her on winning a championship. She's looking to add her second in as many days here tonight for Supernova.
Yeah, I expect Alexandra to be a focal point on defense when it comes to any catch being made by Chaos. If she's not making an interception, she is going to be there deflagging for sure, as that is one of her specialties, to not miss flags.
I think Alexandra actually served as the athletic therapist on the sideline as well before her championship game last night. So pulling a bit of double duty.
Exactly there. And kudos to her for being able to do that. I think she is currently studying that, or unless she just graduated. But again, winning a championship and then you're doing double duties on the side, great for her.
So that pass there fell incomplete now, bringing up second down. Again, Gervais getting the first down for her team. First and goal from the Supernova 4-yard line. Chaos looking to punch it in again right now on their second offensive drive of the game. So here we go. Lynch now leading her team to the line. Snapper. Gervais to the left. Thompson Aslan and Cesar to the right. Pass to Thompson Aslan. She catches it in for the score. Emma Townsend Aslan extends her team's lead now 13-6.
That was a great catch from Emma, and it's great seeing her considering the fact that she did have a scary injury perhaps last night in her Co-Ed 2 game. Friendly fire with Felix Clermont. We weren't sure if she was going to be able to play today, but knowing Emma, she was not good. It was going to take a lot for her not to play in this finals, so kudos to her for playing and making a great contested catch there for the touchdown.
You had a chance to talk to her, but I think 2 hours ago, maybe even 3 hours ago at this point. Finish my thought after this. 1-point conversion attempt. That pass gets knocked down. Falls incomplete. 13-6 is the lead now for Chaos over Supernova. So I had a chance, as you mentioned, right, last night, Emma Thompson, Aslan colliding Yeah, in their championship game, went for teammate Felix Clermont for Purple Blood as they lost 41-40, unfortunately, at the block party. And yeah, both players went down. Emma Thompson last night was the last images of her last night. Pretty much her writhing in pain on the field. She had to be helped off the field actually by Fleurs Clermont. Clermont had to come out. I believe he had a concussion, or at least the signs of a concussion. So he was held out as well. I talked to both players about 3 hours ago, and they both said they were playing in the respective games tonight. Clermont did in his Division B game. He is part of a championship team. His runner once blew out. The game we did, they blew out Mangoose.
Exactly.
And obviously, again, we see Emma playing here now in this game. What time is it now? Yeah, 9 o'clock right now. So she had time to relax a little bit today and before getting onto the field. So that first down pass falls incomplete for Supernova. Second and long now facing the team in purple.
Yeah, I liked how Supernova's first drive went, and I think if they keep that up, slowly closing the chains off on second down here, it can make them a really good opportunity to score, to tie this game, or potentially take the lead.
Michaud gets the ball. She looks to her right. She throws it there. That pass, though, is dropped by Pavia. She's covered right there by Gigi Cabello-Abante.
Yeah, Pavia had the opportunity to make the grab, especially because the ball was thrown outside where the defender couldn't reach it. But kudos to, unfortunately for Pavia, wasn't able to come up with it. Gigi was there, but again, the ball was thrown outside, so it was hard for Gigi to get an interception or a hand on it. So she had to play for the flag, but it didn't work out for Supernova.
And as you said earlier, the first game going to overtime. Supernova scoring and going for the 2-point convo, getting the 9-8 win. Second meeting again, 24-20 was a win by Supernova. Michaud going left, and that pass is too high, out of the reach of her intended receiver, and that was LeBlanc, number 7, streaking down the sideline. She was open, but again, the quarterback couldn't find her. Again, looking back at that second meeting, Supernova took an 18-13 lead at the half. Both teams, so again, much more offense than we saw in game one, but then both offenses would cool down after the break, only scoring 1 TD each. Clarence Michaud had a strong bounce-back game. After throwing a couple interceptions in the first meeting, she threw 4 TDs to 0 interceptions in the second meeting. Allison Sobel, who threw a couple touchdown passes in the first meeting, really struggled in the second one. She had 3 TD passes, but also had 3 interceptions in the second contest. That pass, nice catch there. Nice move by the receiver, looking for an opening. She gets upfield, a couple extra yards there by Anaya.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, she wasn't able to move the chains up for a first down completion. Great tackle by number 25 in Noemi Olmond. So giving Chaos the ball with the lead, this is exactly what they needed with a great defensive stop there. Now they're going to look to extend the lead to make it 2 possessions.
So the ball now inside the red zone at the 5-yard line. Pardon me, rather Chaos with the ball here. My apologies. At their 5-yard line. So snap now by Sobo. Quick hitter to the GG. GG's tackled after a gain of about, let's say, 6 yards there.
Even after coming late to the game, Gigi's already making her presence on both sides of the field. I expect this game, regardless of the outcome, she's going to definitely play a part, as I expect from her.
I've done some scorekeeping with Gigi. She's always late to the games all the time. It's horrible. I'm just joking. Nah, Gigi, part of the FPF family here. Pass down the sideline towards her. Gets knocked away at the last second. Great defensive coverage right there. But the DB, I believe, yeah, that's number 10 right there, going step for step with Gigi. And that was Ann Pavia. And it's rare you'll see a defender going step for step with Gigi.
Yeah, Gigi's one of the fastest women in FPF, I would say. And especially when it's her going, especially deep and stuff, it's hard for any women's DB to keep up. And Pavia did everything she could there. And potentially having a hand on the ball there, not allowing Gigi to have the placement that she wanted to make that catch.
So it gets a snap over the middle. Pass up high, and it's intercepted by LeBlanc off the hands of Townsend Aslan. LeBlanc still running, finally taken down by Lynch. So Lynch potentially saving a touchdown. Great field position now after the INT for Supernova. They're going to get the ball at about Chaos's, let's say, 14, maybe at the worst 15-yard line.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Emma. The ball was a bit high where she had to jump, but again, LeBlanc was there in case Emma even made the catch for the tackle. And luckily for LeBlanc, got the interception there and made yards afterwards, giving Supernova a chance to tie the game.
Supernova offense, part of me, takes the field here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and that's LeBlanc by herself, number 7. See Anaya, who's had a big game so far. She is the snapper. Michelle gets a snap. She goes right over the middle to her snapper. Flag right away by Oman. Good tackle there by number 25, Noemi Oman for Chaos.
Yeah, nice grab there, nice tackle, bringing the ball down to the 11-yard line. And again, you have a short amount of field to work with, so Supernovas could take a shot into the end zone, but again, they could always work the field, making it even shorter to make it a or second and third and manageable if needed.
So here's your chance now. Ball at the 11-yard line now. So pick up a 4 by Naya on a previous play. Second down here. So Michelle going to her right a little bit. Reading the defense. She gets the snap. Looking to her right. She throws it to the corner. And the pass is picked up by Poisson. Gabrielle Poisson, number 14, with a big INT for her team. Possession goes back to Chaos now. 5:34 remaining in the contest.
Yeah, great interception by Poisson, but I want to give credit to the rusher Zoe Wong there. She made a quick rush there, which resulted in Clarence Michaud making that throw. Unfortunately for her, her receiver wasn't able to catch it, and Chaos gets the interception, giving them a chance to retake the lead. Not retake the lead, but extend it like before.
I had a chance to talk to Marilyn Cesar before the game and asked her what's going to be the key for your team here. I'm not sure if it's an injury. I believe someone might be bleeding, actually. I think that's number 10 again, Ann Pavia going to the sideline. The official told her to go to the sideline, so I'm sure it's probably just an issue where she's bleeding. Obviously, want to get that covered up, get a bandage, or get some gauze on it. But again, in my conversation with Cesar, she said, listen, the key for them to victory is obviously just sticking with the game plan, but more importantly, getting under their heads. Just maintaining focus and not worrying. If a bad play happens, she said, collectively, the team just needs to move on. I know in the past that's kind of been an issue where one bad play leads to another, then potentially leads to a turnover. So she said, again, the key today is just staying in the moment. Something bad happens, get over it. Basically not getting too high, not getting too low, right?
Yeah, 100%. And especially with this Chaos team, they've been together playing for quite a few seasons now together. These group of women have been playing flag with each other for several years now. So they have known the ability of, winning a championship in that moment. I believe they have won as a group. And the thing is, you have to be composed in these situations. You can't, like you said, when one bad play happens, you can't let that kind of be the dictator of how the rest of your game goes. So they have to, like Marilyn has said, keeping their heads cool and playing their game no matter what. They've been playing it well so far.
So it appears that we have a medical timeout again. So right now, Supernova looks like they only have 5 players. So that's why we're getting the stoppage of the game. Obviously, number 10 goes out there. Anya, obviously, the Supernova just have to send another play on to replace her, but they're only 5. That's why we're getting the medical timeout there. So it looks like she has a bandage or a Band-Aid on whatever was bleeding, and we're going to get back the ball over here quickly. Just looking to see how both teams got here. Supernova belays ETS Turgeon 40-6 in the quarterfinals, and they turn around and beat the Wolfpack 39-6. So 2-0 blow victories, obviously coming against ETS Turgeon in the quarterfinals, Wolfpack in the semis. Chaos kind of followed that lead, blowing out the Dream Killers 60-6 in the quarterfinals. And a close one here in Brassard a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago to be exact. Quick pass there to the sideline to Cesar. Chaos beating Hebrew 18-14 in their semifinal matchups exactly 2 weeks ago here in Brassard. I'll tell you what, I was scorekeeping, and I watched that game against Hebrew, and that was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Bad decision making, not taking a knee, forcing passes and stopping the clock and giving the ball back to Hebrew. Chaos was guilty of all that, but again, they made a good defensive stand at the end to win the game. Ball goes off the hands of Gervais and out of bounds.
And that's what you were mentioning with Marilyn when you spoke to her earlier about like keeping their heads in. And like I wasn't at the game, but I'm taking your word for it where it was probably much harder that they made it than what it should have been. And again, that's where you expect the experience of this Chaos team to kind of use as an advantage. As Ibu is more of a younger team, you would expect that Chaos would be able to know when to use perhaps clock or take knees and stuff. So it would be important to see if in this game, if it reaches that point, if Chaos would actually be able to compose himself in hopes to win a championship.
Yeah, we're going to find out, right? So big catch there by Gigi, picking up the first down. She got tackled by LeBlanc, but again, she was about a good 2 or 3 yards over the first down marker. So fresh set of downs here for Chaos. And of course, Chaos, obviously, Keon, changing their name this season. They used to be called Red Nation. All these ladies have played for Vanier at one point, except for Gigi. Gigi, I was told by Emma when she was on the podcast this week, she's an honorary Vanier cheetah. But all the other ladies on this team played for Vanier, hence why they were calling themselves Red Nation. That pass goes off the hands of Gigi, and then a bounce pass a little bit too high off the arm of Sobol. And they decided collectively, speaking to Emma this week on the podcast, they decided collectively to just change the name. She's like, it has been a while between since all of them have played at Vanier. Again, bringing on Gigi last couple seasons, bringing on that Gabriel Poisson, who didn't go to Vanier either, right? So they figured it's time to kind of change the name and change their identity. And Emma Thompson-Asselin, who passed to the sideline here, caught by Gigi, extends the ball, so she's going to be tackled at about the 11, maybe 10-yard line. And they said, in choosing the name Chaos, they all were voting between each other. They're all like, what does it feel like when we're on the field? What's the mentality of our team? And they felt like it was Chaos, hence the new name for their team.
I mean, as from seeing them play sometimes, yeah, the name suits them as being Chaos. I don't know if that's the right name you want to have it in terms of how you play on the field,
Right.
but if that's the way it works for them, they've won a championship under their old name before, so now it would be time to win a championship under the Chaos name.
There you go. Catch by Maryland Cesar. She's in for the score.
And there was nothing chaotic about that. Very smooth, great catch from Maryland, extending the lead to 19-6 for Chaos.
A big catch there by Maryland. Again, one of the OGs, if you will, one of the leaders on this squad. She had a fantastic regular season. 25 catches, 297 yards, 4 TDs. You look at the trio between Maryland, Emma Townsend, Asselin, and Gigi. They have 139 grabs, 1,232 yards, and 26 touchdowns in the regular season between that trio, the top 3 receivers on this Chaos squad. Lynch with the snap over to Sobol. They look to send their lead, making it 20-6. Passing it back in the end zone. Caught by Gigi. It's good. 20-6 is the lead right now. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the opening half.
Great job for Gigi starting out wide, and she was able to make a deep in there and actually keeping her feet in bounds there. Unfortunately for Supernovas, she wasn't able to step out of bounds, is what they were probably hoping for because she was so tight to the sideline there. Great job from Gigi for keeping her feet in, extending the lead to 20-6. We're under pro clock now with a minute 50 for Supernovas. They, if I were them, take the time off the clock. You needed to score because you get ball back in the second half. But again, you don't want to give Chaos another opportunity to score and expand this lead before half.
Let me show gets the snap. She's going to have to do something for her offense. Pass over the middle. Oh, Lamisa Jundi, number 22, the captain of the team, almost came through with the INT right there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Lamise, she wasn't able to grab that. And again, great rush from Zoe Wong right there. Potentially could have been a safety there if she was there a tad second earlier for the sack.
So second and long now facing Supernova. And they look out of their wits right now, at least offensively. So let's see what Michelle has up her sleeve. She ties her shoe there, checks her shoe, I should say, for a second. Plus, it looks like to be a play band right in her sock. She has the ball now. She's going deep over the middle. Tended receiver was number 6 in Anaya, who had a big score before, but the quarterback and receiver couldn't connect on that play.
Yeah, Noemi was pretty step for step there with Anaya. So unfortunately for Supernova, it wasn't picked off. The ball was actually overthrown. But again, 138. I'm a bit worried now because of the fact that they are giving Chaos opportunity if they don't get the first down here. And now they're bringing it down to, I think, a very long third, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see what Supernova does right here. Michelle looking to her left, not going over the middle, and it's picked up by Gigi. Gigi Cabrillo-Abante with the INT, tries to escape 2 tacklers. She can't. She gets taken down just past midfield. So the Chaos offense is going to set up past the first down marker. So they can't pick up a first down bearing a penalty, but at least they get the ball back and they have a chance now to add to their lead again, up by a score of 20-6.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the replay there, but Zoe Wong was there for a potential safety. But credits to Gigi for playing through it and getting the interception there. For Supernova, that is the last thing you needed, because if you were able to punt it, you give the ball back to Chaos at least after 5. But now with the interception, cuts down the field by half with over a minute and 40 seconds, under a minute 40 on the clock.
So we'll go as quick outlet passer to the snapper Lynch. So a gain of about 4, maybe 5 yards right there by the snapper.
And for Supernova now, again, pivot on defense and not allow a score. Time is ticking down, and the thing is, you don't want to be down at half by 20. You get the ball back in the second half, but the way that their offense has been playing, it hasn't been showing to get all these points quickly.
Pass to Cesar. Game by her, but it's saying she was tackled and bounced, so the clock's going to run. But again, more than a minute left in this first half, so plenty of time right now. It is not an issue for Chaos. Let's see though if they can punch the ball in. Ball at the 9-yard line of Supernova.
Yeah, great hands by Maryland there and reaching for it. And again, Chaos has all the momentum right now, and so if they get a score, they're going to be in firm control of the game as they already are.
Nice catch, though. Low pass there by Sobo, putting it only where her receiver can get it, and GG coming up with a big grab there, bringing the ball now to the 4-yard line.
So I'm not sure with the Supernova defense, I don't know, they might be tired or fatigued as they are only 5 ladies on the field. But again, a bit of space there for the Chaos receivers to kind of really just get a simple catch where they could kind of not have to worry about the pressure of getting a pass deflection or interception.
It's a big play here. 4th down coming up. Chaos is 8 for 15, and that pass gets batted down. I was going to say, right before that play, Chaos is 8 for 15 in the regular season on 4th down against Supernova, but now make it 8 for 16 as they weren't able to punch it in right there. 14.1 seconds remaining on the clock here. Again, 20-6 is the lead. 14-point lead right now for Chaos. Chaos slowly bringing their defense onto the field here, led by Gabrielle Poisson, Zoe Wong, Noemi Alma, Lani Sujundi. And yeah, I guess they're calling a half here again. I mean, on the clock here, on the field it says 14.1 seconds. I know your clock right now, pardon me, your clock at home says 14 seconds as well. I mean, I guess that does it. Yeah, that does it for the first half. So 20-6 lead right now at the half for Chaos over Supernova. Again, so one of the storylines coming into this game, right? And unfortunately, it is always one of the storylines when Chaos is playing is which Allison Sobel is going to show up for this team. Again, one of the leaders on his team has been there since the beginning, a veteran. She's beloved by her teammates, stand-up person, but she has struggled, right? The bread of the legs get in the playoffs. Allison Sobel has struggled, not every single time, but more often than not. Bringing back obviously last year to the game in the finals against the Citadin in women's 2 in the winter season. But again, she's shining right now right here. Her offense is looking good. She's spreading around the ball. She's not getting fixated on receivers or forcing throws. What, in your opinion, has been the biggest key for their offense?
Yeah, it has to start with Allison as quarterback. She's been doing great today. Honestly, just making the right reads there, not making anything forceful, not making any passes that she feels that she has to thread the needle too much. If there's a deep option there, Phoebe caught a really deep route there and running it to the end zone, especially early in the game. But for Allison, keeping the control of the game, going against their name of Chaos, especially going down to the second half where they need to keep control of this game. They're in the driver's seat right now, and if they lose this game, it's because of the fact that more than likely than not, their offense doesn't lets up a bit too much, where they've been playing great in the first half.
And I said earlier, right, in the rematch between these two teams, quarterback there, Clarence Michaud for Supernova, again, she was pretty solid. She was superb even. 4 touchdown passes in her last meeting. She has one here today, but it has been a struggle to move the ball with any consistency. She had a couple of turnovers as well. How does the Supernova offense get back on track?
Well, with the deficit that they're in, it's not over. They should kind of slow the game down a bit. They've been going deep a bit more often than not. I know Zoe Wong has been really much of a really good threat as a rusher for Michaud. But again, getting her receivers, you have Alexandre Leblanc, you have Alicia there, making the short passes and let your receivers get some yards there, making it where it's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th down more manageable instead of 2 or 3 straight incompletes. You do that, you're giving yourself a hole where it's unfortunately you're not always going to convert the 4th and long. So making it very simple, shorten down the field on the first set of the first drive and the second. So it's going to be very key with them starting with the ball on offense. They basically have to score now. It's not necessarily now or never, but again, if they don't score on this drive specifically, it's going to be tough to get momentum as this is their first drive on the second half.
All right, again, in fairness, though, to Supernova, they are missing some of their top receivers. Chloe Corbet is not in the lineup. Liane Majeux also not in the lineup. Marie-Lou Gelina, Rosaline Majot, right? That's about around 26, nearly 30 touchdowns missing out of this lineup today in the finals game between obviously Chaos and Supernova. So obviously Supernova is having to do without some of their top offensive stars. But I mean, listen, we've seen this throughout all the games yesterday and it's entirety here today. At least the first 7 of 9 games that have been played here today. Some players are missing off of some teams, right? And it's the next woman up, next man up mentality. Someone has to make a play. Let's see if someone can do that for Supernova again. As they start, pardon me, the second half with the ball in their hands. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. For the Supernova offense, Michaud gets the snap. She looks to her left. She has a pass over the middle. It's caught by LeBlanc. LeBlanc gets past one tackler. Finally hauled down though by Lamisa Jundi, again the captain of this Chaos team, wearing number 22.
Yeah, and like you were saying for Supernovas, unfortunately, they are missing some of their key offensive weapons. But again, it's for the women that are on the field right now. One of them, or a collectively group, ideally would have to make a difference. I would expect Alexandra Blanc to make a difference, as she really did her job yesterday in the Co-Ed 3 finals, playing as well on offense with 2 touchdowns and making plays defensively. So I would expect her in this women's 2 final to play a big factor as well.
So caught there by Alicia Anaya, the number 6. The only touchdown scored for her team is by her hands. She gets the ball near midfield, so 3rd down, and I want to say about a long 2 right now for Supernova so they can get the 1st down. Let's see if they get it here on this play.
Yeah, great job for Supernova. Like I just mentioned, cutting the field short for your first and half field to go, and now making it a 3rd and manageable for them.
Michaud gets the snap. She looks to her right. Oh, and that ball is dropped. Big drop there by Pavia, number 10.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, the ball did come off a tad low, but again, she had her hands on it. It should have been a catch there. But again, great job for Supernovas for making it 4th and manageable, because in the first half, it looked like Michaud was going to throw it deep for these incompletions. And in the first half, it would have been much a difficult task, whereas now it's 4th and very much manageable with like 2 to 3 yards.
Yeah, so let's see if they can manage to pick up the 1st down. You think they go deep here? Or they do something short like a hook or a crosser?
If I were them, go with the short route. You don't need much yards here. You just need to get the yards.
So let's see if Michaud can get them. Michaud pass over the middle. Nice catch right there by Anaya. Picking up more than enough for the 1st down. And a gain of at least 10 yards right there.
Yeah,
Clutch catch by her.
Yeah, great job from her from catching that. Poisson was right there. She reached out with her right arm there. Unfortunately, couldn't get the interception there. And for Supernova, that's what you need. Make these short, manageable gains. Get the 1st down here, and now you have 4 downs to work with. And you're honestly you have like 15 yards to work with. So again, not necessarily always going to the end zone, but trying to work your way towards the sticks.
Let's see if they listen to your advice. Pass to the end zone. Oman knocks it down. Great coverage by Noemi Oman.
That was great coverage there. And again, I like the idea of going to the end zone, but again, because of that now, you make it 2nd and goal, which is long. So I wouldn't advise for them to go deep once again unless you're 100% keen on seeing the opportunity. But let's see if Supernova could actually work the sticks now when you have 2nd and goal, but it's still a bit long, but you still have 3 downs essentially to make this work.
Yeah, see, the receiver there was open. I think that was LeBlanc. She had a step on Oman, but again, that patch just a little bit behind her allowed Oman to come down with the deflection. This ball gets deflected. Oh, almost picked off. Goes off the hands of Poisson. I think Townsend Asley got in there, and then finally off the hands of Oman. So a strong defensive start to the 2nd half by Noemi Oman.
Yeah, and gratefully for Supernova, that wasn't picked off by any of the Chaos defenders. But look, now it leads to a 3rd and goal, still from the 15-yard line. Again, shortening the sticks would be ideal, but again, they haven't really been able to connect it. Even if you get like a 3-4 yard hook, perhaps, and maybe having one of your receivers run the extra 2-3 yards to make it more manageable. But right now, they're in a 3rd and goal, but pretty far out from the 15.
Ball put to the right hand side, and that's a drop, another drop, and it looks like, listen, after the first couple of series, there was a drop here or there, but now it's routinely now happening for the Supernova receivers. And they're down by 14. Hanging on to the ball is the first thing they need to do.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ann Pavia, she couldn't grab onto that. But the thing is, it makes it tough there for this 4th down attempt, because again, it was a short route. She was open there. It would have made it 4th and goal roughly from like the 7, but now you're looking at it where it's 4th and goal from the 15. So hopefully, again, they have to go into the end zone. Chaos knows that. That's why their defenders are more backed up there. So let's see what comes up out of this.
Michaud gets the snap at midfield. Pass. Oh, Jundi almost picked it off. Pass was intended for receiver there on the left-hand side, but just out of a reach. And again, almost hit the legs and I think in the hands of Jundi.
Yeah, fortunately it wasn't intercepted. But again, it's the score is 6-24 Chaos with just around 15 minutes left.
Yeah, so 14-point lead. So turnover on downs. Chaos gets the ball back, as you said, up 20-6 right here. So Sobo looks like she's stretching her hands there for a second. She gets the snap. Goes over the middle. Oh, that pass is almost picked off. Intended for Emma Thompson-Aslan. She was not open at all. Great coverage right there by Ann Pavia.
Yeah, that wasn't a ball I expected Allison to throw there, and great instincts from Klaus Michaud. I know she would have wanted to make the interception, and that would have been a very momentum swing. But again, with the pass deflection, that's still a statement to be made there. So let's see if Chaos is able to kind of collect themselves from that.
Second down now, pass to the sideline, caught by Cabello Abante. She stretches the ball forward, so a pickup here of 6 yards.
Yeah, great catch from Gigi at the sideline there. And again, making it third and manageable. And for Chaos, staying in their heads, as it's always been a conversation that we've had about throughout this game, staying composed. Yes, you're up by 14 with 14 minutes left on the clock. But again, you don't want to give Supernovas a chance to feel that they could come back in this game, even though there's a lot of time left on the clock.
Sobel gets a snap here on third. Pass, corner route, caught by Thompson-Aslan, and she's in for the touchdown.
Great job from Emma there. Great ball from Allison too. Unfortunately for Michaud, on that play in itself, she tried to jump the route and she was just too far ahead. And again, when you're playing in 5v5 and you go aggressive there, there's no one up top there for the coverage, and Emma could have walked as low as she wanted and she would have got the touchdown there.
So it looks like the defender right there. So that's Clarence Michaud again, the quarterback playing defense. I think she just misjudged the ball.
Yeah.
Thompson-Aslan ran that corner route, and it looks like Michaud thought the ball was going to go more to her right-hand side, and the ball went to the left. She just simply misjudged it. She jumped at the wrong time.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that too.
So 26-6 lead now, looking to make it 27-6. Pass to the corner. Ooh, dropped there by Cesar. I'm not sure she would have been able to get in. Two defenders were standing right in front of the cone.
Yeah, it was a tough ball there. Again, for Chaos, great job for getting that touchdown. They're in firm control with a 20-point lead now. But the thing is, under 13 minutes left, if Supernovas gets a score, very much in the realms of getting a stop, especially the fact that in women's 5v5, it's 4 downs to midfield. If you don't get it, you give the ball back to your opposing offense. So the thing is, these games could go on where it's fourth and out or whatnot. So it's just all about they need to get a score at least now, and then they have opportunities to get stops, but they're going to need them down the road.
So here comes Michaud now on the next drive. Pass to the corner. Oh, LeBlanc was open. The quarterback puts it about 3 or 4 yards in front of her.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The ball was just over the head of LeBlanc, because it looked like she did have a step there over Emma right there. But again, second down now. How is Supernova going to be able to compose themselves? They're down by 20, but again, there's a lot of time left in this flag football game, so I'm hoping for them they could actually just focus on, again, working the sticks, advancing the ball towards making it a third and manageable after this play.
See what they do here on second down. Michaud gets the snap. She looks to her right. She goes there. Out route. Oh, and that's picked off by Gigi Cabello Abante. That passed through the hands of LeBlanc, and it ends up heading right to Gigi. And unfortunately for Supernova, she's wearing the black colored jerseys instead of a purple one. First and goal now for the Chaos offense.
Yeah, unfortunately, LeBlanc was running a little corner there, and the ball was a bit too far away from her, and Gigi was right there for the interception. Again, it's not too late for Supernova, but again, this is a make or break stop, and the fact that they're in their own half is tough, but again, if they make a stop here, all they have to do is just score and make this more of a game.
So let's see if they can get a stop here. Speaking, of course, of the Supernova defense. Sobo, her team with the ball at the 11-yard line. Sobo gets the snap. She looks to her right now, goes to the left. Oh, a pass behind Lynch. Lynch is running a quick out route. Sobo put the ball about a yard or two behind her. Second and goal now for Chaos.
Yeah, fortunately for Allison, the ball wasn't too high enough where it looked like Ann Pavia could have gotten an interception there if the ball stayed more trajectory upwards. But again, for Chaos, you're in firm control of this. There's no need to make this tougher than it could be. they have the tendencies in the past to make games more complicated than what it should be, especially down the road. So I'm hoping that Allison and company could hold the fort for their sake to get this win.
Sobo looking to the end zone. That ball's picked off. LeBlanc with the INT at the 1 yard line. Can even call it the half yard line. So second INT of the game for Sobo. This time into the hands of LeBlanc.
Yeah, that unfortunately isn't what you wanted. You had the advantage for you. LeBlanc, great job from catching it right before the point of the ball hits the ground. And now Supernovas could use this momentum to get a score with under 10 minutes left on the clock. Great play by LeBlanc.
So see now Supernova again. Yeah, less than 10 minutes remaining in this contest. Again, they're only down by 20. There's still some time, but they're going to have to start quickly here if they want to come back and get into this one and potentially tie the game. Michelle gets the snap. She looks to her right. She throws her to the sideline. Caught by Pavia. Tackled though immediately by Ajundi.
Yeah, great catch there by Pavia there. But again, making the sticks shorter has been the key for Supernovas. And again, these ladies might be tired or whatnot as they're only 5. But again, the last 9 minutes or so of this game, if they want to have a chance to win a championship and come back from this game, the last 9 minutes have for them to give everything that all they got. So I expect that for the next 9 minutes on both sides of the field.
So ball for Supernova at their 11-yard line here. Let's see if they can get it past the first down marker at midfield. Of course, in women's football and 5v5, there's only one first down marker that is at midfield. Pass to the left-hand side, caught. So Oman there with the tackle. Is it short of the first? I believe. Yeah, it is. It's going to be short by about a yard, maybe 2. So setting up third. Yeah, it's about a yard. Yeah, so setting up 3rd and 1 here. Again, a plethora of options available right now for Supernova. If you're calling the plays right now, what are you calling right here, Keon?
Very short routes, or even having. It looks like only Ann Pavia has been the one that's been running any. Actually, no, it's been Alicia Anaya that's been running any routes as a runner. But again, she is snapping, so that's gonna be practically impossible. But again, short routes, any comeback, it could be from Ann Pavia or Alexandre Blanc. So let's see what we go with now.
So quick crossing route there, caught by Anaya. Enough for the first down. She's tackled in the open field by Oman.
Great catch there by Anaya there. And again, making every catch worth it. And in terms of not getting incompletions, not making the sticks much difficult. So now it gives Supernova a chance to score with 4 plays. And again, like this drive has been working so far. Take what's being given in front of you. You don't necessarily have to go deep. You could if you find that the opportunity is there. But again, don't take too many shots because then you're making a tough opportunity as the drives go on.
Michelle gets the snap. She looks to her left. She throws her on pass off the hands of the receiver there, and Anaya. Good pressure, little boy Zoe Wong there, the rusher, number 3. She is fast. She got in there in a hurry, causing the quarterback to get rid of the ball before she really wanted to.
Yeah, 100% there. Zoe Wang had played a really great sequence right there. I thought she actually would have gotten the sack, but I think she might have missed the flag. But again, the presence of her speed getting to Michaud right there that quick could have caused that throw not to be as accurate to number 6, Alicia Anaya.
Wong, one of the few players on this team without a championship. Looking for her first here tonight. Pass to the sideline off the hands of the receiver. Maybe Oman potentially got a piece of that one. Naomi Oman is another one with no championships on her resume. Hadia Okana Lynch as well. Phoebe Gervais. So a couple of players with no championship. Again, they are 6.5 minutes away from getting their first. Obviously, players like Gigi, Kabila Abante, Allison Sobo, they've won 2, looking to add to their totals as well. The captain, Lemise Ajundi, she's won 1, so she's looking to add to her total. Emma Thompson Aslan, who's 0 for 2 this week in the championships, looking for her 2nd championship trophy. Pass to the sideline, off the hands of Gigi Kabila Abante. And I tell you what, Kiana, she would have caught that. She would have brought that one back to the house.
Oh, 100%. Great read by Gigi there. I know Ann Pavia was open there for a split second, but the throw was maybe a tad bit too late, or maybe the route was a bit too long because Gigi read that like a book, and if she had her 2 hands on that, she was running that back for a pick 6. Yeah, I think now it is 3rd down, but again, 3rd or 4th down. But again, with these incompletions, it's been making it tougher for these next plays to go on for Supernova.
So see with the ball past midfield. Michelle gets a snap here. She's looking to her left. She throws there off a couple hands and falls incomplete.
It looks like that was fourth down, actually.
Yeah, that was fourth down. You're right.
Yeah, so Chaos will get the ball back with just once the ball is snapped, it will be under 5 minutes to go in this contest, and they're in firm control of this game. Again, 20-point lead for Chaos. The game is in your hands. Just don't make anything unnecessarily. Don't make any risk that you don't need to take. Allison Subol has been playing great up to that interception that happened at the end of that last drive. But again, with under 5 minutes, just gotta take it composed. Make the fact that Supernovas have to make tackles and make plays and stuff. They might have to play more aggressive, so maybe you can use that to your advantage if you want to go deep. She has been making good throws. For example, to Phoebe early in the game, to Emma that went on for a long touchdown. So let's see how that works towards this, as the clock stopped at 5:02, but I think it's still going to be running under the referee's clock.
So Supernova defense, 3 INTs the last time they played Chaos. Their defense actually, nice catch up by Thompson Aslan with a middle tackle by LeBlanc. The Supernova defense actually in this postseason, they've been superb. Through the 2 games that they played, again beating Les ETS Turgeon and beating Wolfpack, they've only let in 12 points total over 2 games. Bit disappointing that they couldn't bring that tonight. Obviously, Chaos is a better team than Les ETS Turgeon and the Wolfpack. It was without a shadow of a doubt here, but I mean, you think they'd be able to maybe keep them a little lower again, considering in the regular season they held them to 8 points and they held them to 20. Chance, deep shot, Townsend, last lane. Speaking of defense, there was no defense right there for Supernova. Townsend last lane, with the TD. And Chaos has extended their lead now, 32-6.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be the nail in the coffin. Great ball from Allison and great coordination from Emma to get her second touchdown of the game. Perhaps an MVP performance. There's been a lot of ladies that have been performing well for this Chaos team. So great job for Emma for the touchdown there. Again, for Supernovas, it's unfortunate, and we've been talking about their defense, who have been playing well in the postseason, as they allowed 19 points in the regular season, but the 2 playoff games each allowed 6 points in the postseason. But again, perhaps maybe there are missing some defensive players that could make much bigger impact, and the fact that there are only 5 ladies on the field could be a fatigue factor as well.
Good pass there to Lynch. She catches it. 1-point convo is good, so now the lead's extended to 33-6.
Yeah, great ball there. Great catch by Lynch there in the tough traffic of the defender. Again, 33-6 with about 3 minutes left on the clock. Again, Chaos they play more conservative on defense. Supernovas, if they throw deep, you know it's going to be coming. If you see that they're going to throw short, again, just deflag, nothing crazy. And for Supernovas, again, just marching the field and just getting momentum again. Don't worry about the score at this point of the game. But again, just trying to get more points on the board for them. At least it won't count in terms of except for stats, but it's better than not. You're in a championship game. You might as well go out all out.
Show the pass over the middle, off the hands of Poisson. I tell you what, if Poisson didn't catch that, Lamisa Jundi, who's jumping up and down, she would have had an INT right there. Second and long now facing the Supernova offense.
Yeah, and as much as we've been talking about Chaos being purely dominant on both sides of the ball, Supernovas has had a great run towards this finals, finishing 6-4 and having 2 big victories in the postseason with large margins, like we mentioned, to ETS Turgeon, and then Wolfpack as well, advancing to this point.
So speaking of strong defense, Chaos here with the strong defense again. In the first meeting, they had 10 passive flashes and 2 INTs, one by Marilyn Cesar and the other by Emma Townsend Aslan. The defense has been just as solid here tonight. Deep pass on the sideline, caught it, bounced by LeBlanc, getting 2 feet in and avoiding Lamisa Jundi. She caught the ball. Jundi finally makes a tackle, but first down for the Supernova offense.
Yeah, that was a great catch by LeBlanc. And again, for Michaud, great ball. But again, do you want to have those balls? At this point, you might as well go all out and just try to do anything. But again, throughout the game, a ball like that, was that necessary? But again, great ball from her to take no credit away from that, and great catch from LeBlanc at the sideline.
Fresh set of downs here for Supernova. Getting about 2 to 3 yards up from midfield. Michelle, dart over the middle to LeBlanc. LeBlanc gets tackled by Poisson.
Yeah, great job from Chaos overall. They've been playing well on both sides of the field defensively. And again, for some of these women, their first championship. For others, their second. And again, it must be a great feeling for winning a championship, especially as to avenge the loss to Les Citadines last winter, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. Yeah, exactly. So great job for them to coming back this season in Women's B and being your Women's B champs.
Pass to the right-hand side. It's caught going out of bounds. There's a receiver right there, number 10, making the grab. A nice one there. She had to deal with the always tough Lamisa Journey in coverage, and that was Ann Pavia making the grab.
Yeah, great catch by Ann there. I know she wanted to reach into the end zone. With the clock winding down under 40 seconds, again, getting another touchdown here for Supernova is nothing but pride. And again, these ladies have nothing to do but leave all on the tank and keeping their heads high for this performance throughout the whole season. It might not be the outcome they wanted in this game, but again, they had a great season overall.
So, yep, 20 seconds and counting here. Again, at least Supernova have a chance now to make the final score at least a little bit more respectable. Let's see if they can do that pass over the middle, and it's caught for the touchdown. So too little too late, but at least, again, the final score will be a little bit closer. Alexandre Leblanc with the catch over the middle. Tight ball, good, nice window. Right there, window throw by the quarterback, and that'll do it. A 33-6 victory for Chaos. They are your Women's B Flag plus Football Spring Season 2025 champions. Congratulations to them. A huge victory, dominating pretty much from start to finish. And a game that we thought would be a little bit closer, but because of the dominant play on both sides of the ball by Chaos, it wasn't. But they'll definitely take that championship trophy, blow it or not.
Yeah, great job from Chaos. Like you said, start to finish, they played a near flawless game on both sides of the field. Again, letting up one touchdown in each half, which again, in a championship game, that's more than you can ask for from your defense. And Alison Subol did as great of a job as she could. Yes, she gave up one interception, but outside of that one interception, she played flawless. Pretty much made the right throws, had her receivers make great catches. But again, she led her team to first title for this Chaos newly renamed group of ladies down the field.
And hey, listen, credit to Alison Sobel. She shut up a lot of the critics today in this victory. A lot of frustration for her and her teammates over the last couple of years. Again, we talked about, again, that loss to the Citadin in the winter season finals. I had a chance to hang out with some of her teammates afterwards, and it was just frustration all around, right? You lose a heartbreaker like that, 33-32. A lot of tough questions need to be asked. And again, the quarterback, one of the leaders, Alison Sobel, responding in a big way here. Again, a bunch of touchdown throws. Again, like you said, one battered interception, but it's fine. Pretty much she took control of this game and help lead her team to victory. So congratulations to her on getting the W. We're going to shoot it down to the field to Jeff Rosenblatt. No, pardon me, Mo Khan actually is on the field. He's going to award the championship trophy to Chaos and the game's MVP. Quickly, who do you think is winning MVP?
I would have to give it to Emma for playing that way both sides of the field.
All right, thanks so much, Brent. All right, it's time now for the Women's 2 Trophy presentation. Your 2025 Spring Champions, no longer Red Nation, it is Team Chaos. And without further ado, Team Captain Lemise, here is the trophy. All right, Lemise, I will ask you the questions here before we get to the MVP. So coming into this year, you lose one of your biggest hitters, and Rachel Valliere goes to a higher division. Some would say that would be a big loss, but you guys adjusted, and now here you are as the queens of Women's 2.
I think there's one thing that people don't really know well about us is we're all big hitters. We don't just rely on one player on this team. We rely on all these beautiful individuals, and there's no way we're ever going to stop doing that. So we are more than just one. We are Chaos!
Quite chaotic over there. Was there a moment during the season that you said, yes, we have the horsepower to win this championship?
No. 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 We knew we were here. We knew we were going to come here. We knew we were going to go home with that thing, and here we are.
Fair enough, then. It is now time for the MVP, if I can get the plaque from Mr. Ben McMahon. And your MVP for the Women's B final is Emma Townsend Asselin. This is our first normal conversation we'll have aside from Field 1, Field 2 in Laval. Emma, talk to us about, of course, talk to us about this MVP award. I know, as Lemise said, it was a team effort through and through, but you definitely are one of the brightest stars that this division has.
Thank you very much. It feels good to get MVP. I had a bad collision yesterday, so I wasn't sure how I was going to play. But as a whole, I think it was MVP for the whole team. I found no one outshine anybody else, and it was an MVP for everybody.
Moving ahead here for this team and the outlook, you guys have won multiple championships now. So is it now time to take the next step in the development and the progress of Chaos moving forward?
Well, we did. We signed up for Women's A next season. So that was our step up. We're like, if there's a season to do it, it's next season. That's when we're going to play higher division teams. There's going to be a uni team, a Sub-Zero Cayenne mixed team. That's when we're going to be playing better of the better girls. And I think we're ready for that step up. We proved ourselves today, and as a team, we're ready.
So see you for the fall finals here in a few months.
Yes, I will see you here in a few months.
Congratulations, Emma. Back to you guys.
All right, so welcome back here to the booth. So, like you said, right before we went down to the field, Emma Townsend-Aslang winning the MVP of the game, obviously deservedly so.
Yeah, 100%. She had 2 big touchdowns there, and again, kudos to her.
Three
Actually down the last one down the road. Kudos to her, especially from what happened last night, where it was even a question if she was even going to play with the collision that she had in her co-ed 2 finals. Credits to her for actually making sure she was healthy enough to play and performing well with 3 touchdowns and winning MVP for her second championship with this group of ladies, and first under the new name of Chaos.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and congrats not just to Emma, to obviously Lamisa Jundi, Allison Sobel, like we said before, Marilyn Cesar, a lot of the OGs from the Red Nation squad, again, now known as Chaos, winning yet another championship. And one thing, so when I was talking this week to Emma on the podcast, I'll say quickly before we sign off here, I talked about some of the new players she added to the team, right? Last couple of seasons, like Heidi Okana Lynch, Gigi Gabriel Abante, this season, Phoebe Gervais, Gabrielle Poisson, right? They lost arguably their best player, Rochelle Valliere, who decided to play in Women's A with Sub-Zero, so that's a big loss. Fantastic player, both sides of the ball, as well part of the FPF family. But they added a lot of young players who were hungry and who brought in maybe a different skill set. And obviously, I think that decision paid off here tonight.
Well, yeah, 100%. You're able to win a Women's B title, obviously losing a talented player like Rochelle to Women's A and Sub-Zero. But again, you won your Women's B championship with the roster you had, and maybe adding more youth could actually help them in future, whether they move up divisions, whether in the fall, whether in the winter, whatnot. This definitely helps, and I think having the season that they did with the championship too, it definitely elevates your chances of performing well at the higher divisions in the future.
All right, so we'll have to see whether this team in Chaos wants to go to the higher division. Once again, congrats to them. 33-6 victory. They're your Women's B division champions. Last game of championship weekend coming up. Division C, the number 1 seed, Le Petit Carras, taking on the number 2 seed, Le Brantois. Le Petit Carras beat them in the regular season. So obviously, Le Brantois hoping for get the last laugh here. I'm done for today. I'm done for this whole championship weekend. So I know you're calling the game for Leslie Dubois. So good luck to you guys. Just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in on Facebook Live and Instagram and everywhere else. Thank you to obviously the team from Mira Productions, headed by Ali Reza. You guys have done a fantastic job. And thank you at home for watching, because without you guys, we would not be here. I'm done. I'm excited to be done. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.